Welcome back, student. I am your geography teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, as you know that nowadays we are studying one new chapter in unit climate, that is solar radiation, heat balance and temperature. So students, till in our previous video we have studied about solar radiation and insolation process. Today we will continue the topic insolation, and with insolation we will also study our new topic, that is heat balance, in which we will study few topics, and the subtopics are heating and cooling of atmosphere. In this topic we will see how the atmosphere is getting cool and hot and how the temperature is decreasing and increasing. Number 2, that is terrestrial radiation. That is also an important part of the topic heat balancing, because as Earth is noted down as a terrestrial planet, so what is the terrestrial radiation, that we will see in this topic. The next topic will be the heat budget of the planet Earth. So in that we will see what is the heat budget of our planet Earth. So students, let's start with our previous topic, that was insolation. Few things in brief we will see about insolation, and then after that we will start our new topic, that is heat balancing. So students, our till last video's discussion, now we know what is insolation. So few more topics we will study about the insolation in our today's video. So as we know, the amount of insolation which received on any date at a place on Earth is influenced by few reasons. The process of insolation is also influenced by few reasons on our Earth. These reasons are: number 1, that is solar radiation. As we have already studied about the solar radiation, so solar radiation is also a important factor which is influencing the insolation process. How? The solar radiation, which depends on energy output of the sun, and distance from the Earth to the sun is also varying the amount of insolation. Number 2, if we will talk about the second reason behind that, that is the transparency of atmosphere. As already I told you, the atmosphere is having 5 layers, in which the most important layer, which is known as the troposphere, and all weather phenomena are occurring in the troposphere. So the heating and the cooling process of the Earth and the insolation process also, it is affecting if the atmosphere clarity is not there. So second reason behind that, that is the atmosphere clarity, in which we can include the water vapors, the dust particle and the other weather phenomenon activities. And number 3, if we will include, number 3 is the duration of the daily sunlight period. Means, as you know, the duration of sunlight of every day, it is affecting due to the latitudes. As we know, there are two activities, that is equinox and the solstice. So these two activities are also affecting to our insolation process, as the duration of the daily sunlight period and the angle. The main thing is that the angle at which the sun's noon rays strike the Earth. Okay, so if we talk about in these 4 processes, among all the 4, the last one, that is the angle 1 process. So that is the so much important part of the process which is influencing to the insolation process. So let's see how the angles are affecting to the insolation process. Students, now let's see how the angle effect is affecting to the insolation process. As we know the angle effect, and what is angle effect? In the angle effect, we can see the rays of sun which are putting on the Earth surface in the different angles. So the angle effect of the solar beam, which can be seen in the daily movement of the sun across the sky from morning to evening. The angle of which solar radiation strikes the earth surface also depend on terrains. For example, in the northern hemisphere, the southern slopes they receive a more direct solar beam, whereas the northern slopes may be entirely in the shade. So it can be clear through this example that world distribution of possible insolation at the surface is closely influenced by latitude. Means the different latitudes are having a different insolation amount. Students, after seeing that example, here we can say the amount of insolation reaching the earth's surface and its effectiveness per unit area depends to a great extent upon the angles of incidence or the inclination of the sun rays. Hence, the solar energy received on the surface of the earth is directly related with the angle of incidence of the rays of the sun, as you have seen in the globe 1 picture. The earth as a whole maintain a balance between the incoming and the outgoing radiation, but how it could be maintained and what are the reasons behind it. So let's see the reason and the process of the heat balancing in our next topic, that is heat balance, in which we will see few more topics which are related to the insolation process and which are responsible for the temperature. So students, now let's see what is heat balance. Heat balance is a process of incoming and outgoing radiation, which is also known as heat budget, which depends upon the heating and cooling process of our atmosphere. The atmosphere is not directly heated by the sun from above. It is rather heated from the below, means from the down of the earth's surface. The process of heating of the atmosphere, it is depending on three processes. The three processes are convection, conduction and advection. So what are these three processes? Let's see. So first we will see what is convection. Student, the transmission of heat from one part of a liquid or gas to another by movement of the particles themselves, it known as the convection. In other word, what we can say, what is convection? Convection requires a mobile medium like air or water. It works only in the troposphere, as the troposphere is having both the medium as the air and water. Next is the conduction. The conduction is a process in which heat is transferred directly through matter from a point of high temperature to a point of low temperature by molecular impacts, that is known as the conduction. Students, here are two pictures through which we come to know what is the convection and the conduction. And the third factor is advection. This is the transfer of heat through the horizontal movement of air. It is called advection. It is more important than the vertical movement. In mid-latitudes, most of the diurnal variation in day and night are called by advection alone. Here a notable thing is that the convectional is the vertical movement of air and the advection is the horizontal movement of the air, and the horizontal movement is much important than the vertical movement of air. Now let's see another reason behind heating and cooling of atmosphere, which is known as the terrestrial radiation. As already I told you, Earth is a terrestrial planet. So what is the terrestrial radiation that we will see in that? So students, as we have seen in the insolation process, this is occurring during the daytime when the sun is heating. So during the daytime, the earth is warmed by the solar heating power. The incoming solar rays, these are occurring due to the insolation process, and at night this heat is reflected back from the earth's surface into space. This phenomenon of reflection of daytime heat in space is called earth radiation or terrestrial radiation, which is happening at the night time. Finally, the amount of heat which received daytime is returned to space nighttime, due to which the temperature of earth and atmosphere is maintained. So that is the terrestrial radiation and the insolation process, and it is also a heating and cooling process of our earth and the atmosphere. So student, that is a one part of the heat balancing. There is a one more part of the heat balancing, that is known as the heat budget. So through more theories and the evidence, we will study about the heat budget of the planet Earth, how it is working and how it is influencing to our temperature as well as the climate. So students, as you can see on your screen, there are two pictures in which figure 1, that is short wave solar radiation, and in figure 2, long wave earth radiation. So how these are called the heat budget of the earth, that we will see in this topic. So students, the radiation is the means by which solar radiation reaches the earth and the earth loses energy to outer space. The global radiation budget has three major components. That number 1, solar radiation incoming at the outer limits of the atmosphere. Second, the planetary albedo. And the third is outgoing long wave radiation from the earth to space. So in brief, we can say the average annual temperature of the earth as a whole is neither decreasing nor increasing. It remains almost constant. The incoming solar radiation is balanced by an equal amount of outgoing radiation returned from the earth. A balance is maintained between the insolation and the radiation returned from the earth, and that is known as heat budget. Students, here we have seen what is heat budget and what are the major components behind the heat budget. In our next video, we will see more about heat budget and how the heat budget is affecting to our temperature. We will also study the temperature of the earth and the variation between the temperature. So for the next part of the video, keep watching SST June.